Now this is very, very interesting. I know that you're particularly informed on this issue, so we'll start with you. A woman files a lawsuit, doesn't look for money. She looks to get an injunction against Match.com, having the court tell them they have to do or stop doing something. And specifically, she wants Match.com to take the steps necessary to alert people who join Match.com of people's sexual backgrounds to the extent because she had a bad experience. Turns out that she raises it, she files the lawsuit. Here later, Match.com says they'll work something out and make that happen. This is very interesting. It seems the least they could do.
I find it very interesting. Match.com has become extremely. I see it, obviously, being a divorce lawyer. Sadly, I see it a lot in my practice. People are online while their spouse is up in bed. You have people who are newly separated, and this is the way they're dating these days. And the idea is an expectation that these people are going to be pre-screened. Well, apparently, the president of Match.com said, when we run the idea is when you run the credit card, can we automatically link it to a database where we can find out if they've been a criminal or not? That's unreliable. 4 days later, they say, well, now we're going to do it because it's not so unreliable. I think really it comes down to a consumer issue. I think if Match.com didn't step up and say, we're going to run these screens, that somebody like one of the other websites, I don't know, eHarmony or whatever, there's a million of them. They're going to figure out a way to do it. They're going to say, we're going to run this, and they're going to start getting all the people to subscribe to them rather than Match.com. I think they had to do it for their own economic life. To be, and it's unfortunate. It's nice that this woman, she wasn't looking for money damages. She just didn't want it to happen to anyone else. But really, the message is with all these online dating services, you have to be responsible for your own safety.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about that. We only have left, but Stephen, I want to touch on that for a second, because what's the difference between that and, well, quite candidly, picking somebody up at a bar?
It's the same thing. I mean, you go into a bar and you don't get a background check on the person at the bar stool next to you. It's the person's responsibility to make acting safely for themselves, and they have to take that responsibility seriously, whether it's online or in a bar. I think this is an example of a frivolous lawsuit, frankly, but it's one of these lawsuits where the result is good for society. I mean, you have a lawsuit where she should have done this herself and take someone seriously and be in a situation where she's alone with the person, know who that is. But the result is good.
Well, no. Think about this, Stephen. In personal injury, there's some law and some evidence rules that can you show when someone fixed up. It's the same thing. I saw this as, Match saw something where this woman filed an action, and then they went and made some excuses, but they made some remedial measures. So I don't think it means it's frivolous. I think it actually was the right thing to do.
She thinks it produces a result. And your point is maybe that the means weren't exactly right, but you could live with the end, if I have you correct.
I mean, I think
it's the tension in lawsuits, okay? The
crime, the way it has been manipulated and twisted, and it's become a hot button, and it's not really. It's only a contract.
All right, Heather.